Hello guys, 8th of February 2024, this article appeared on Before It's News by a Tangled Web, right, headed Chris Whitty is going to get you, fluoride in the water. Now I dealt with this back in 2022 and I got nowhere with it as far as MPs are concerned, so let's go through the motions and I'll fill you in on details. And as far as Whitty's concerned, I could change that twice, first for Twitty and then I could change another letter, but I won't. Anyway, let's go on from here. So the article goes, New. I am sure we all remember Professor Chris Whitty as one of the brothers Grimm who flanked Boris Johnson as the as the government sold us the fear porn of COVID. Sir Christopher John McRae Whitty, KCB, is C, isn't it, not G, FRS, to give him his full title, serves as Chief Medical Officer for England and Chief Medical Advisor to the UK government since 2019. He was an essential part of making the UK population as scared as could be of COVID and then pushing the safe and effective, in Skyhooks, killer jabs. Well, if he didn't succumb to his first attempt to get you, I want to alert you to the fact he's back for another shot, and this time, yes, it's literally in the water. The article continues, David Van's Substack is a reader-supported publication. I'll say that because, I mean, it's via that article, via his Substack, so it's only fair that I include it. Millions more Brits will get fluoride added to their drinking water under government plans as part of the long-awaited dental recovery plan. Ministers have vowed to embark on the biggest fluoridation expansion since the 1980s. Around 1.6 million people in the northeast will, if the contentious proposals are given the go-ahead, which they're likely to be as far as I'm concerned, get the mineral added to their water supplies initially. Why would the introduction of fluoride be deemed contentious, I hear you say? Well, let me explain. It is suggested that fluoride weakens the skeletal system, accelerates arthritis, causes harmful thyroid damage, calcifies the pineal gland, accelerates puberty, well that's me buggered then, isn't it? Causes fertility problems, damages the kidneys and harms the cardiovascular system. Some people also claim it encourages docility in the population drinking it. They don't need it then, do they? It is suggested it can cause brain cancers and neurotical, I don't come across that word that often, damage. Curiously, there are also questions as to whether it actually fights tooth decay. The reason they give it to us by adding fluoride to drinking water in the first place. On that one, just as a side note, when they give you extra fluoride to stop the pain of toothache, I don't get how, because it's a poison and it doesn't work as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, carry on. On a personal note, I avoid fluoride like the plague, or a COVID jab. I use fluoride-free toothpaste and mouthwash. I only drink filtered water, and whilst this does not entirely remove the threat to me, at least it reduces it. Currently, fluoride is not added to the drinking water supply in Northern Ireland, but I am sure this will also change. It is my personal belief that fluoride is toxic and could be used to dumb us down, control us and depopulate us. I agree with that. It's not my line, that's not my paragraph, but yeah, I agree with him. But be of good cheer. Professor Twitty tells us we have nothing to fear and that adding fluoride to the water supply is what, oh here we go, 100% safe and 100% effective. Whitty adds that any concerns about fluoride are exaggerated and unevidenced. No. Do you trust Chris to tell the truth? That's the end of the article, basically. and you can see the links and what have you. David Vance Substack. So that's the article. Now we'll go on further. Well, we'll go back a bit here. On the 17th of March 2022, I wrote to our beloved MP about this one. So here's the email. Dear Peter, I will spare you the evidence that the chemical fertiliser waste product sodium fluoride is a deadly poison at any dosage, and the fact that most Americans in areas with fluoridated water suffer from varying degrees of fluorosis. Also, please spare me the government's views on this subject, as I disagree totally with their flawed advice. I am sure that you would easily find the evidence I speak of if you were so inclined, Peter. Needless to say, I do not consent to myself, my family and the entire British population being needlessly force-medicated with sodium fluoride, and especially on the grounds that our children will not brush their teeth. That was going round back then. That was the excuse. Those that do brush their teeth, my grandson here included, are already receiving dangerous levels of sodium fluoride from their toothpaste as it is, as are the rest of my family, and we do not want every organ in our bodies contaminated with this poison when the suggested target is our teeth. My lovely wife would like to suggest, however, that brushing of teeth be added to the primary school curriculum, which I think is actually happening now. It's a few years later, so that the children are encouraged to brush their teeth on arrival at school and after their dinner. If our education system is as brilliant as suggested, this would remove the need to ever fluoridate our water supply and mass poison the entire population. I would at least suggest that our idea be tried for a year to monitor its success, rather than jumping the gun to poison us all. I ask that you please convey our views and suggestion to the British Parliament, insisting that the suggestion to fluoridate our water supply should be abandoned completely. I ask on behalf of all your constituents, and I look forward to your prompt reply, as time is of the essence on this occasion. Then it's signed by me, yours sincerely, whatever. Now the bottom bit, I know it's not related to this one. Basically, he took offence that I was including his letters in videos. This was back then. So anyway, I'll read it out. I'll complete the email. Addendum. I can't spell. My God, it don't matter. Sorry. In response to your raising your concerns regarding me using your letter to Skyhooks, promote my videos and my video channels, that's paraphrased, I would like to point out that neither you nor myself are important enough that your letters make any difference on both those counts. I have, however, made the offending videos less obvious. I changed the thumbnail, that's all, which I hope you find satisfactory. But I would also like to add that you are the officially elected representative of your constituents, Peter, of which I am one, and that all your constituents have the right to know your views on subjects raised. I know that's not related to the fluoride part, but I'm including it just to show that I'm being open on it. With regard to this, here's his reply. Dated Monday the 21st of March 2022, case reference Papa Echo 20164. Dear Andrew, thank you for your email about water fluoridation. While I note your concerns about fluoride in your water supply, fluoridation programs in our country are common practice and have been in place for nearly 60 years. I am aware that currently around 5.8 million people in England already consume fluoridated water. It says a lot. I would like to reassure you that there have been no cases of water fluoridation causing any ill effects. Christ. I understand that a report from Public Health England, now the Office for Health Improvement and Disparities, on improving oral health, published in 2020, found that water fluoridation significantly reduces tooth decay, especially in children. It found that in deprived areas where water fluoridation occurs, there were 55% fewer hospital admissions for tooth decay among children aged 1 to 4. This scheme is effective and safe. Wow. And I am reassured that there is no evidence of health harms from the levels of fluoride used in English schemes, nor the slightly higher levels allowed naturally. Further, the government is required to monitor the effects of water fluoridation and produce reports on this every 4 years, which I hope you will find reassuring. No. The last report was published in 2018, which means that there will be a new report which is due to be published in 2022. I haven't looked at that, I'll be honest, I haven't looked at that. I gave up when I read the letter. I was sickened. While this is a government-supported programme, local authorities are responsible for any consultations on fluoridation schemes. You will be encouraged to know that ministers have published a toolkit for local authorities to aid them in carrying out these consultations. However, it is worth noting that the new Health and Care Bill proposes to return responsibility for the fluoridation of water in England from local authorities to central government, making it easier to expand water fluoridation schemes so that more of the population can benefit from it. I know that some are concerned by previous suggestions of adverse effects on fluoridated drinking water, such as rare form of bone cancer, osteosarcoma, Down syndrome or effects on the kidney. I am, however, reassured that evidence does not support this and that various authoritative expert evaluations from different international organisations all agree that there is no convincing evidence that fluoride in drinking water at levels used in fluoridation schemes or at concentrations below the regulatory drinking water limit is harmful to general health. The letter ends with the usual ending. Once again, thank you for taking the time to contact me. That's just cut and paste. It's on every letter. Yours sincerely, Peter Gibson. Signed Peter Gibson, Peter Gibson MP. I think I've actually covered this letter of his back in a previous video, but it'd be about, well, obviously 2022. I'm not going looking for it, but I just thought I'd bring it to you because the Before It's News website has published that recent article on it. Well, it turns out I did have quite a say, but actually I never got a response. I've saved it as a PDF document. It was a survey. I'll read it out to you anyway. This was given to a representative from Darlington Borough Council at a council meeting in the Dolphin Centre in the town. I never heard anything back despite putting my name and address on it. The PDF reads, for the title, Sodium Fluoride Poison on Tap, an unrequested, in Skyhooks, objective report on the subject of adding sodium fluoride to the water supply of Darlington and its surrounding villages, by Mr Andrew Pilkington, and in brackets, former health and safety representative of British Rail. My report continues, headed, The Poisoning of the Well, with reference to 3 articles posted in the Northern Echo. Article number 1 is dated 27th of September 2017 and added as Appendix 1. The article was headed, Sometimes it is half the mouth being taken out, in quotes. Darlington consultant says children as young as 4 having rotten teeth removed. I provide the link in the description as Appendix 1. My comment, the good doctor at Darlington Memorial Hospital who thinks only about himself and NHS funding rather than his patients and an increase to his colleagues' already hefty workload when they start to get more patients with fluoride related illnesses. No offence as such, but maybe he should just get on with the job he's paid to do, although he's obviously not happy in his work. A second article dated 4th of October 2017, Appendix 2, also in the description, headed "Water Fluoridation is not working." I'll provide the link, like I say, in the description. My comment: the truth about the implications, there is more if people care to look beyond mainstream, NHS and the British Dental Association. It is far from good. Third article, dated 2nd of December 2018, which is Appendix 3, headed "Fluoridation Inquiry Defended by Darlington Borough Council." And the link, like I say. On that one, that is what prompted me to do this report. My comments on that one is Darlington Borough Council's misguided belief that they should have a say over what is best for us medicinally, when in other places at home and abroad have already dismissed fluoridation as harmful, inhumane, morally and ethically wrong. If you cannot get your kids to brush their teeth, poison the whole local population. Question. As you can see by the dates, after a gap of over a year, it is Darlington Borough Council who are keeping this deadly idea going. For those who actually care about themselves and their family, I fully recommend that you take a serious look at the following web page, which I put as Appendix 4. It is just one of many to be found online, and that article, not Northern Echo, it's a Macaulay one, is headed 10 Facts About Fluoride You Need to Know. Continues. Here is a post I made on the Darlington Borough Council Facebook page back on 17th of April 2019, and as you can see, there was no response to my second question. Now the article 27 at night, yeah, okay, I wrote, with regard to the Northern Echo article on the 2nd of December 2018 regarding Darlington Borough Council deciding it is in the best interest of the people of Darlington to add the poison fluoride to our drinking water. Regardless of whatever stage the official discussion on this subject has reached, I do not consent, in capitals, to me and my family being poisoned by Darlington Borough Council and Northumbrian Water. And a tagline on 2 people. From Darlington Borough Council: Hi Andrew, thanks for your comments. Please note there is no current proposal to fluoridate the drinking water in Darlington. A technical appraisal will be carried out to determine whether any such scheme would be feasible. If there was such a proposal in the future, the Council would need to hold an open and transparent consultation at which anyone would be welcome to give their views on the matter. To which I replied, if there is no current proposal, then surely there would be no need for a technical appraisal, which I assume will not be free of charge, and in return no consultation will be needed. I mean, if there is no suggestion of a proposal in the first place, then why even have a report on this subject posted in the Northern Echo? Therefore, someone must have set things in motion to justify a proposal to fluoridate the water. The Northern Echo made it quite clear that Darlington Borough Council is that organisation. Is that correct? They never replied. I thought that Darlington Borough Council is short of funding? So who are they intending to pay to carry out a technical appraisal on this free for all to see online information? There is already more than enough proof out there that fluoride is a deadly poison, with no evidence to support the idea that our teeth benefit from ingestion of this waste product from the fertiliser industry, but plenty of medical evidence supporting the damage that this toxic chemical does to all the bones and cells in our bodies, not to mention all the animals and plants that would be exposed. The smallest amount of sodium fluoride is extremely harmful, and it is labelled as a poison on some brands of toothpaste, marked also with wording such as, if you swallow or use too much toothpaste, contact a doctor, stroke poison centre in the US, etc. Add a daily dose of sodium fluoride toothpaste up to 3 times a day at 1,450 parts per million that's Sensodyne, with fluoridated water supply at 1,500 parts per million, and dental fluorosis can occur as we use water for drinking, washing and bathing, food preparation and cooking, along with some packaging which is also said to contain fluoride in one form or another. All poison. So why are the people of Darlington Borough Council pursuing the notion of fluoridating our water supply? Do they have too much time on their hands? As it would appear that they have no consideration to the health and welfare of the people they are employed to represent, let alone themselves and their own families. No one can claim to have a healthy lifestyle if they use fluoride toothpaste. For example, we all need clean water to survive, including the people working for Darlington Borough Council. The wrong food, prescription medication, both teeth destroyers, and being sprayed with heavy metals along with other compounds nearly every single day from aircraft is bad enough, but known poison used as a medicine in our water supply is totally unacceptable, inhumane, immoral and unethical, all chemical exposure to which we do not consent. Furthermore, fluoridation of water supplies is very expensive, so who would be expected to pay for such an endeavour? Us? Pay for our own poisoning via council tax and water bills? It would be far more acceptable and far less expensive to promote brushing teeth with non-fluoride toothpastes than going down the avenue of poisoning the water supply. Who will be involved in the entire fluoridation process, from source to the person who actually adds the poison to the water? That's a question. I would like to see some names of the people and companies to be involved, please. Also, would Darlington Borough Council be prepared to ensure the supply of as much unfluoridated water as required to satisfy the needs of each and every one of us each and every day, for those of us who do not consent to being poisoned with fluoride? Or would that take legal proceedings against them? Just so we know, my comments may seem a bit harsh, but I would like to assure you that I mean nothing personal against any individual. I simply feel quite strongly about this whole topic, and just wish that people would at least have some interest in waking up to the truth surrounding us all, before considering mainstream topics as truth when they are far from truth. I will happily provide direct links on request, as I know the links quoted will not be accessible on a printed document, so please find the transcripts enclosed as appendices. Thank you for your time. So I handed that in, never heard out back. That's the sort of thing we're up against. So anyway, there you go. Thank you, and thanks for being there. All the very best, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.